Let's do it. It's gonna be the cray cray cease and desist list that I promised you. So we'll give it a couple of seconds for people to come in. And if you have received a cease and desist from Cray Cray, just let me know so I can put your name right here on this list. We're gonna start this up. Cray Cray. And for you Periscope people, it's not the same Cray Cray who you're thinking of. It's a different Cray Cray. So, we're gonna begin with this. Cray Cray back in the day when she was anti NJ, she had done numerous videos about NJ to cease and desist, and you must stop, and you must stop, and you must stop. Then they became friends again, and now it's everybody else's fault. So we're gonna make that list: the cray cray, the cray cray, cease and desist orders. Okay, so if you were ever on that list, we're going to start with one, which would be NJ Turner. We know that she did that to her numerous times. We know that at one point she did it to me. We'll call me Val Daisy. We know that at one point she did it to Julie, my number one. My number one. We know at one point she also did it, I believe, to the Queen. To the Queen. Now, I seen a recent one where she gave it to Kathy Barker. We'll throw her down. Then she's having an issue with some guy, John Infidel, whoever he is. Infidel. Then, who else do we have? That Cray Cray told them that they must stop. And remember her famous words, malicious intent. The Cray Cray famous malicious intent. She knows the law. So she's telling all these people, and then in their inbox saying, Flowers, who are you? You have to inbox me and tell me who you are so I could write your name down on this list. Let me think who else we have. Oh, she gave it to Jen Flavin. Okay, definitely. All right, Sherry. Sherry got one too. So if Flavin got one, you know Shauna got one. Shauna, if you didn't get one, we'll take your name off the list. But already without thinking, we have 9 people that Cray Cray has put out these orders. Oh, let's not forget Karen, the attorney. Materna, the attorney. Oh, Pam got one too. Pam got one. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you got it a long time ago. It's just as long as you got one. Oh, Gina Lockie got one too. I gotta see if for some reason I feel like what's the other girl? Nisa. I don't know. I think at one point she was coming after Nisa too. Cray Cray, listen up. You can't come over after everybody. You cannot say that people are maliciously intending to harass, alarm, annoy, and all these other things that you've been saying. That the Turners have done for years. Now that you've made up with them, you are not the spokesman in everybody's inbox changing the narrative. It don't work like that, Cray Cray. No, no, no. Hello. Oh, and don't forget Matt. She definitely sent one to Matt. All right. Timmy. I'm sure Timmy got one. Timmy, if you're in here, let me know. Timmy got one. So these are all the people that everybody's malicious intent, right? Cray cray, all these people. And just so you know, it was her last warning. I don't know if you've seen her video, but I may have to break out I may have to break out the old Jay Stanley stand down video. I'm ordering a stand down to all the Patriots. It's an official order for you to stand down. Stand down. We may have to get that. Okay, so she blocked you. You got 15 is that right? So let's see. Anybody else that we missed? We have Turner. We have the Queen. We have all these people. Now, Cray Cray's going to get mad at me. You know, Cray Cray, stick with your YouTube videos. They're kind of funny. You know, sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're not. But you're better off sticking with that than sticking with, the law and what's malicious intent and giving some advice out with the law. And who's harassing who when these people have a list of 56 people that they've done things to? You're catching up there. Oh, I'm sure. That's right. Tammy Blair probably got one. We'll have to put her down. And you know what? If it's wrong, we could always take people off the list. So don't get it twisted, Cray Cray. This is just a temporary list of off the top of my head and off the top of other people's head who you have inboxed and had gave them the cease and desist official order. That's what this is about, Cray Cray. Now, I don't understand why you're so involved in all this stuff when, hey, Stephen, when it's been pretty quiet for the most part, but then you got yourself involved with this Tina Piazza and that whole thing going on with Tina Piazza, which I have no idea. I never followed that whole story with Kathy Barker and all that. I catch bits and pieces here and there, but somehow, Cray Cray, you inserted yourself right into the middle of that nest. Right. And then you want to turn around and say, cease and desist. Then if people do this, you're going to law enforcement and you're writing all these letters and you're doing hits and you're going to the DA and you're going to the popo. Cray, 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 cray. Cray, cray. I know it's your last warning. So don't take this video and then do a video on me and say that I'm just letting the public know that you have gave this official warning out. Malicious intent. And your other famous thing to say is crowd targeting. That's your other famous saying. What else do you like to say, Cray Cray, as you get involved in all these things that don't have anything to do with you? So we'll leave it right now. We have it at 15. I'm sure there's more. Stephen, what's going on? I'm sure there's more, but we'll leave it at 15 for Cray Cray. And for you Periscope people, it's not your Cray Cray. We have our own Cray Cray. It's not your Cray Cray. We have our own Cray Cray. And sometimes they fly out of the Periscope nest and they go crazy. And we got to bring them back in. We got to bring them back to reality. Not that easy, but we try our hardest. So, if anybody could think of anybody else, later on we'll update the list. But this is a good start. 15 on the cease and desist orders from Cray Cray.